Alright, we are live. Today, I'm gonna start on a... Oh, hold on. What was I saying? Yeah. Oh. Today I'm gonna start on a maybe very long journey to find and read all the books in the game. Hello, Giahan. I see already you're sounding excited about this. Oh, heck yes. Hell yeah. I'm looking forward to it as well. Am I gonna read the entire text aloud? I am. I don't know. I don't know. I think it's gonna be fun. I've wanted to do this for a while now, but and then on today, I got home from work and I was just like, you know what? I'm just gonna start today. Why not? That might be way too loud. Bethesda jump scares always. Kino alert is going to be comfy. Probably. I don't know what Kino means, but I hope it's gonna be comfy. Dude, the Bethesda intro music always, you know, Bethesda intro always jump scares. Alright, let's go probably about there is good. Alright. Get full screen. Each event is preceded by prophecy, but without the hero, there's no event. I'm just gonna read everything. In the waning years of the third era of Tamriel, a prisoner born on a certain day to uncertain parents was sent under guard without explanation to Morrowind, ignorant of the role he was to play in that nation's history. Oh, I'm already excited.
They have taken you from the Imperial City's prison. First by carriage and now by boat. To the east, to Morrowind. Fear not, for I am watchful. You.
I feel like at first, it's gonna maybe be pretty easy to find books, because it'll just be all over the place, and every random book I find will be the first one.
We're here.
And it'll be a new book.
Are you okay? Wake up.
But then once I get going, I think I'll probably have to look up where a lot of the books are eventually.
What's your name?
The hardest part of any game. Character creation. Alright. So I'm thinking... Gotta have a very bookish name. Something like... Harold. That sounds like... If I met a guy named Harold... That's a bookish guy. I feel like, yeah, I don't know. That's the first one that popped in my head. We're going with it.
Well, not even last night's storm could wake you. I heard them say we reached Morrowind. I'm sure they'll let us go.
Alright. Oh yeah, Jube.
Quiet. Here comes the guard.
This is where you get off. Come with me.
Man, I love the... I love how this game looks. Oh, mouse sensitivity is really high here. Let's go to like here. I'm used to a pretty low sensitivity, I guess. Alright. I know the first book is coming up real soon. I can't get into my inventory yet, but like...
Get yourself up on deck and let's keep this as civil as possible.
Oh man. Need to change the controls up probably. Zoom, running, sure. Sneak, activate, should be E. And then jump here should be space. That's pretty much the only one that I remember needing to change right away. for some reason jumping is like E or something like that.
This is where they want you.
That's
Head
the
down
weirdest
to the dock
thing.
and I'll show you to the census office.
Alright, more
You
character
finally
creation.
arrived, but our records don't show from
What's your
when.
process? Gonna keep a spreadsheet of all the books you find and read? Honestly, I haven't really thought of it too much, which is probably a terrible idea. I've got a notebook. And for today, I'll just write down every book that I read and maybe number it. But I think what I'll eventually do is I'll like write down every single book in the notebook. Because there are lists online. I did check that. I'll just like copy one of those lists into one of my notebooks. And then I'll just check them off as I go. I think that'll work. Probably. For now, I haven't made the list because I decided on this today to do it. Right after work, 30 minutes ago. So, don't have a great plan. I'm gonna go with the Khajiit. I'm gonna steal and trade, steal most of these books probably. Should do top 10 at the very end. I'll do like a tier list. I think there's too many for like an entire tier list. I'll definitely do like a top 10. Sure. Okay, well, the guy's name's Harold, so we're gonna go with Guy. Now let's pick a nice cat face, because I feel like I'm gonna do like a thief and maybe mage. It's gonna be like a dastardly thief who hoards knowledge, I guess. I'm gonna go with, what is the hair? The hair is the ears? Alright, I'm gonna go with the pointiest ears possible. These ones. And then let's go. I'm gonna need a friendly looking one. That one looks too scary. That one looks kind of friendly. That's a sort of friendly face. I don't like the sideburns though. This guy looks wise. This guy looks like the type of person to just have a shitload of books. Yeah, we're gonna go with this guy. Okay.
Great. I'm sure you'll fit right in. Follow me up to the office and they'll finish your release.
Oh man. It's been a while since I've played Morrowind again, and man, it looks so cool. Alright, there's some books in here already. I can't get at them yet, but
yes, we've been expecting you.
Gonna
You'll
pick
have
all
to be
those up right
recorded
away.
before you're officially released. There are a few ways we can do this, and the choice is yours.
my thieving starts as soon as I get here. Oof, okay. Ah, man. Now this might be tough. I do kind of want to do magic, but I don't think there's gonna be like a pre-made sneak magic build here, is there? Probably not, no. 'Cause I mean, why would there be? So I'd have to create my own, I think. We're so back, yeah. I'm looking forward to this. Hello, Spring Hill, as well. Yeah, okay, I think I'll just create my own class. We'll call it Book Hoarder. Leveling similar to Oblivion, so be careful what you choose as major and minor skills. Yeah, I mean, I've played this before. I've played Morrowind before. This time I'm just going through and finding and reading all the books. we'll go with stealth. So the aim isn't even to finish the game here, it's just to read as many of the books as possible. We're gonna go... I definitely want speed, because I'm gonna want to just run around quickly. And I do kind of want to use magic. But I feel like magic's just going to be like the auxiliary to my running around and stealing stuff, probably. Ooh. Or buying stuff. I'm going to have to buy tons of these books. Endurance, that's true. Yeah, we'll just do endurance, and then skill-wise we can choose some stuff. Because yeah, endurance is just gonna help way too much. Let's see, major skill-wise, definitely need enchantment. Enchanting and alchemy are like too good to pass up on. But I mean, I could do min-maxing essentially with the alchemy probably. Yeah, I'll keep alchemy. Yeah, I won't name alchemy as a skill so I can use it for min-maxing. And then we definitely want illusion. I think. I don't know. I always love the idea of illusion, but I never end up using it. And then we're definitely gonna need a bunch of this stuff. So security, sneak, and mercantile or speechcraft. Mercantile, because I'm going to be doing tons of buying. So yeah, I'm going to have hopefully pretty decent enchanting and illusion. I don't know. Am I even going to use illusion? No, I mean it's good for sneaking, I guess. So when I'm sneaking, I'll just cast some illusions. Then, let's see, minor skills. Let's go ahead and throw in the conjuration. Wait, no. It's mysticism, isn't it? Because illusion should have a charm spell. That's good. Yeah, that's probably good as well. Yeah. Definitely want mysticism if I'm doing enchantment. I would want mysticism and conjuration if I do enchantment. So I can trap the souls that I conjure, basically. So I'll just go both of those. And then we'll do... We already have sneak, we already have security. I don't have any weapon. And I don't have any armor skill. So let's just choose something for both of those. A spear. Yeah, spears are cool. Wait, athletics. I should have chosen this over here, maybe. We definitely want to keep athletics, and then maybe unarmored. And should I switch athletics? I might put athletics and switch illusion with athletics. Nah, we'll just leave it like this. I think that's fine. But yeah, spears are fun. Spears are cool. We'll just go with that.
Very good. The letter that precedes
It shouldn't matter
mentioned
too
you were
much,
born under a certain sign.
since I'm
And what would
not
that be?
aiming to do great in combat anyway, but whatever. Okay. I probably want... The steed. Why would the thief need a sanctuary? I guess if he gets caught stealing? Honestly, the tower seems better for a thief than the thief. Yeah, I think we'll go steed. I mean, invisibility is pretty good as well, but I'm gonna probably be chugging around a bunch of books. Not chugging, lugging around a bunch of books. Yeah, so let's go steed. Oh no, it's Skyrim that it makes your the amount of stuff you can carry higher. Steed or thief are your go-to. Yeah, I think I'll go steed because I want to go fast.
Interesting. Now, before I stamp these papers, make sure this information is correct.
Yeah, it's fine. Charioteer. No, charioteer. Right, because of the steed. Yeah, I mean, it's probably fine.
Show your papers to the captain when you exit to get your release fee.
Can I steal these books? Okay, we got the... Oh, we got all of the Brief History of the Empire. I think Brief History of the Empire only goes up to V4. Okay. So there's a trick to stealing here. Hold on, how do I go? Inventory is this. Okay. So... if I do... Okay, let's do it with the miscellaneous object first, just to get a little practice in. Let's do it with the plate. You have to drop it right away, yeah. Wait, what? Activate as E. Keep the plate, it's valuable. Yeah, I know. Wait, why can't I take stuff? Oh, wait. I think I have to... Wait, what? Oh, right, no, I have to go to the...
further until you have your papers.
Oh, right now. These papers. I was getting ahead of myself. Does this count as a book? For release by Emperor Uriel Septim the Seventh's decree for the district of Vardenfell in the province of Morrowind. Name Harold, race Gajit, class book order, signed Socucius Orgala, agent of the Sadanine Imperial Census in Exus, 16th of the last steed, 3E 427. Okay. Here we go. Now can I take stuff?
Continue through to the next building and talk to Salastravius.
Okay. Yes, that's how you do it. This is actually tough because it's really close to him. Okay. Now, these are going to be tricky because he's like literally right there. Oh, I can just read it. I don't need to even take it. Okay. I do want to take it though. Alright, I'm going to read them first and then I'm going to try to take them all. So, let's mark this down. We got Brief History of the Empire, part... Brief History... Empire, and then we got 1, 2, 3, and 4. Alright. Before the rule of Tiber Septim, all Tamriel was in chaos. The poor Trezizes called that period of continuous unrest days and nights of blood and venom. The kings were a petty lot of grasping tyrants who fought Tiber's attempts to bring order to the land, but they were as disorganized as they were dissolute, and the strong hand of Septim brought peace forcibly to Tamriel. The year was 2E 896. The following year, the emperor declared the beginnings of a new era. Thus began the Third Era, year Ogd? For 38 years, the Emperor Tiber reigned supreme. It was a lawful, pious, and glorious age, when justice was known to one and all, from serf to sovereign. On Tiber's death, it reigned for an entire fortnight, as if the land of Tamriel itself was weeping. The emperor's grandson, Pelagius, came to the throne. Though his reign was short, he was as strong and resolute as his father had been, and Tamriel could have enjoyed a continuation of the Golden Age. Alas, an unknown enemy of the Septim family hired that accursed organization of cutthroats, the Dark Brotherhood, to kill the Emperor Pelagius. Pelagius I, as he knelt at the prayer at the Temple of the One in the Imperial City. Pelagius I's reign lasted less than 3 years. Pelagius had no living children, so the crown imperial passed to his first cousin, the daughter of Tiber's brother Agnorith, Kintira, former queen of Silvanar, assumed the throne as Kintira I. Her reign was blessed with prosperity and good harvests, and she herself was an avid patroness of art, music, and dance. Kintira's son was crowned after her death, the first emperor of Tamriel to use the imperial name Uriel. Uriel I was the great lawmaker of the Septim dynasty and a promoter of independent organization and guilds. Under his kind but firm hand, the Fighters Guild and the Mages Guild increased in prominence throughout Tamriel. His son and successor, Uriel II, reigned for 18 years from the death of Uriel I in 3E64 to Pelagius II's ascension in 3E82. Tragically, the rule of Uriel II was cursed with blights, plagues, and insurrections. The tenderness he inherited from his father did not serve Tamriel well, and little justice was done. Pelagius II inherited not only the throne from his father, but the debt from the latter's poor financial and judicial management. Pelagius dismissed all of the Elder Council and allowed only those willing to pay great sums to resume their seats. He encouraged similar acts among his vassals, the kings of Tamriel, and by the end of his 17-year reign, Tamriel had returned to prosperity. His critics, however, have suggested that any advisor possessed of wisdom but not of gold had been summarily ousted by Pelagius. This may have led to some of the troubles his son Antiochus faced when he in turn became emperor. Antiochus was certainly one of the more flamboyant members of the usually austere Septim family. He had numerous mistresses and nearly as many wives, and was renowned for the grandeur of his dress and his high good humor. Unfortunately, his reign was rife with civil war, surpassing even that of his grandfather, Uriel II. The War of the Isle in 3E 110, 12 years after Antiochus assumed the throne and nearly took province of Somerset Isle away from Tamriel, the united alliance of kings of Somerset and Antiochus only managed to defeat King Orgum of the island kingdom of Pyodonia due to a freak storm. Legend credits the Sigic Order of the Isle of Artaeum with the sorcery behind the Tempest. The story of Kintira II, heiress to her father Antiochus' throne, is certainly one of the saddest tales in imperial history. Her first cousin Uriel, son of Queen Potima of Solitude, accused Kintira of being a bastard, alluding to the famous decadence of the imperial city during her father's reign. When this accusation failed to stop her coronation, Uriel bought the support of several disgruntled kings of High Rock, Skyrim, and Morrowind, with Queen Patima's assistance. He coordinated 3 attacks on the Septim Empire. The first attack occurred in the Iliac Bay region, which separates High Rock and Hammerfell. Kintira's entourage was massacred, and the empress taken captive. For 2 years, Kintira II languished in an imperial prison believed to be somewhere in Glenpoint or Glemeril, before she was slain in her cell under mysterious circumstances. The second attack was on a series of imperial garrisons along the coastal Morrowind Islands. The Empress's consort, Kontan Arentx, fell defending the forts. The third and final attack was a siege of the imperial city itself, occurring after the Elder Council had split up the army to attack western High Rock and eastern Morrowind. The weakened government had little defense against Uriel's determined aggression and capitulated after only a fortnight of resistance. Uriel took the throne that same evening and proclaimed himself Uriel III, Emperor of Tamriel. The year was 3E 121. Thus began the War of the Red Diamond, described in Volume 2 of this series. Ooh, got a war coming up. So, that's cool. So yeah, Tiber Septim kind of united everybody. He was a great guy. Whatever. And yeah, pretty cool. Second book. Volume 1 of this series described in brief the lives of the first 8 emperors of the Septim dynasty, beginning with the glorious Tiber Septim and ending with his great-great-great-great-grandniece Kintira II. Kintira's murder in Glenpoint while in captivity is considered by some to be the end of the pure strain of Septim blood in the imperial family. Certainly, it marks the end of something significant. Uriel III not only proclaimed himself Emperor of Tamriel, but also Uriel the Septim III taking the eminent surname as a title. In truth, his surname was Mantiarco, from his father's line. In time, Uriel III was deposed and his crimes reviled, but the tradition of taking the name Septim as a title for the Emperor of Tamriel did not die with him. For 6 years, the War of the Red Diamond, which takes his name from the Septim family's famous badge, tore the empire apart. The combatants were the 3 surviving children of Pelagius II Potima, Sepphoris, and Magnus, and their various offspring. Potima, of course, supported her son Uriel III, and had the combined support of all of Skyrim and northern Morrowind. With the efforts of Sepphoris and Magnus, however, the province of High Rock turned coat. The provinces of Hammerfell, Somerset Isle, Valenwood, Elsewhere, and Blackmarsh were divided in their loyalty, but most kings supported Sepphoris and Magnus. In 3E 127, Uriel III was captured at the Battle of Ichadag in Hammerfell, en route to his trial in the Imperial City. A mob overtook his prisoner's carriage and burned him alive within it. His captor and uncle continued on to the Imperial City and by common acclaim was proclaimed Sepphoris I, Emperor of Tamriel. Sepphoris' reign was marked by nothing but war. By all accounts, he was a kind and intelligent man, but what Tamriel needed was a great warrior, and he, fortunately, was that. It took an additional 10 years of constant warfare for him to defeat his sister Potima, the so-called Wolf Queen of Solitude, who died in the siege of her city-state in the year 137. Sepphoris survived his sister by only 3 years. He never had time during the war years to marry, so it was his brother, the 4th child of Pelagius, who assumed the throne. The Emperor Magnus was already elderly when he took up the imperial diadem, and the business of punishing the traitorous kings of the War of the Red Diamond drained him much of his remaining strength. Legend accuses Magnus' son and heir Pelagius III of patricide, but that seems highly unlikely, for no other reason than that Pelagius was the king of Solitude following the death of Potima, and seldom visited the imperial city. Pelagius III, sometimes called Pelagius the Mad, was proclaimed emperor in the 145th year of the Third Era. Almost from the start, his eccentricities of behavior were noted at court. He embarrassed dignitaries, offended his vassal kings, and on one occasion, marked the end of an imperial grand ball by attempting to hang himself. His long-suffering wife was finally awarded the regency of Tamriel, and Pelagius III was sent to a series of healing institutions and asylums until his death in 3E 153, at the age of 34. The Empress Regent of Tamriel was proclaimed Empress Catariah the First upon the death of her husband. Some who do not mark the end of the Septim bloodline with the death of Kintira II consider the ascendancy of this dark elf woman the true mark of its decline. Her defenders, on the other hand, assert that though Catariah was not descended from Tiber, the son she had with Pelagius was, so the imperial chain did continue. Despite racist assertions to the contrary, Catariah's 46-year reign was one of the most celebrated in Tamriel history. Uncomfortable in the imperial city, Catariah traveled extensively throughout the empire, such as no emperor ever had since Tiber's day. She repaired much of the damage that previous emperors had broken. Previous emperors' broken alliances and bungled diplomacy created. The people of Tamriel came to love their emperors far more than the nobility did. Catariah's death in a minor skirmish in Blackmarsh is a favored subject of conspiracy-minded historians. Sage Montalius's discovery, for instance, of a disenfranchised branch of the Septim family and their involvement with the skirmish was a revelation indeed. When Cassinder assumed the throne upon the death of his mother, he was already middle-aged, only half-elven, and he aged like a Breton. In fact, he had left the rule of Wayrest to his half-brother Uriel due to poor health. Nevertheless, as the only true blood relation of Pelagius and thus Tiber, he was pressed into accepting the throne. To no one's surprise, the Emperor Cassinder's reign did not last long. In 2 years, he joined his predecessors in eternal slumber. Uriel Lariat, Cassinder's half-brother and the child of Catariah I and her imperial consort, Galavir Larate, after the death of Pelagius III, left the kingdom of Wayrest to reign as Uriel IV. Legally, Uriel IV was a septim. Cassinder had adopted him into the royal family when he had become king of Wayrest. Nevertheless, to the council and the people of Tamriel, he was a bastard child of Catariah. Uriel did not possess the dynamism of his mother, and his long 43-year reign was a hotbed of sedition. Uriel IV's story is told in the 3rd volume of this series. Hope you'll also be reading the Dwemer books out loud. Are they in, like, Elvish? Or, the Dwemer language or something? I'll try, but I think that might be a little hard to listen to. But I can definitely try. Dude, Catariah sounds cool as hell. Currently, favorite emperors. Definitely Catariah. Yeah, I'm just kidding. Dude, I'll give it a shot. Maybe I'll learn Elvish in the process. Alright. 3rd volume. The 1st volume of this series told in brief the story of the succession of the first 8 emperors of the Septim dynasty, from Tiber I to Kintira II. The 2nd volume described the War of the Red Diamond and the 6 emperors that followed its aftermath, from Uriel III to Cassinder I. At the end of that volume, it was described how the Emperor Cassinder's half-brother, Uriel IV, assumed the throne of the Empire of Tamriel. It will be recalled that Uriel IV was not a septim by birth. His mother, though she reigned as empress for many years, was a dark elf, married to a true septim emperor, Pelagius III. Uriel's father was actually Catariah's first consort after Pelagius' death, a Breton nobleman named Galavir Lariat. Before taking the throne of the empire, Cassinder I had ruled the kingdom of Wayrest, but poor health had forced him to retire. Cassinder had no children, so he legally adopted his half-brother Uriel and abdicated the kingdom. 7 years later, Cassinder inherited the empire at the death of his mother. 3 years after that, Uriel once again found himself the recipient of Cassinder's inheritance. Uriel IV's reign was a long and difficult one. Despite being a legally adopted member of the Septim family, and despite the Lariat's family's high position, indeed they were distant cousins of the Septims. Few of the Elder Council could be persuaded to accept him fully as a blood descendant of Tiber. The council had assumed much responsibility during Catariah's first long reign and Cassinder's the first short one. and a strong-willed alien monarch like Uriel IV found it impossible to command their unswerving fealty. Time and again, the Council and the Emperor were at odds, and time and again the Council won the battles. Since the days of Pelagius II, the Elder Council had consisted of the wealthiest men and women in the Empire, and the power they wielded was conclusive. The Council's last victory over Uriel IV was posthumous. Androch, Uriel IV's son, was disinherited by vote of the Council, and a cousin more closely related to the original Septim line was proclaimed Sephirus II in 3E 268. For the first 9 years of Sephirus II's reign, those loyal to Androch battled the Imperial forces in an act that the sage Arantine called Tiber's Septim's heart beating no more. The council granted Androch the High Rock Kingdom of Shornhelm to end the war, and Androch's descendants still rule there. By and large, Sephirus II had foes that demanded more of his attention than Androch. From out of Cimmerian nightmare, in the words of Arantine, a man who called himself the Camoran Usurper, led an army of Daedra and undead warriors on a rampage through Valenwood, conquering kingdom after kingdom. Few could resist his onslaughts, and as a month turned to a bloody month in the year 3E 249, even fewer tried. Sephirus II sent more and more mercenaries into Hammerfell to stop the usurper's northward march, but they were bribed or slaughtered and raised as undead. The story of Cameron Usurper deserves a book of its own. It's recommended that the reader find Palox Ilthris, The Fall of the Usurper for more detail. I definitely will. In short, however, the destruction of the forces of the usurper had little to do with the efforts of the emperor. The result was a great regional victory and an increase in hostility towards a seemingly ineffectuous empire. Uriel V, Sephirus II's son and successor, swiveled opinion back toward the latent power of the empire. Turning the attention of Tamriel away from internal strife, Uriel V embarked on a series of invasions, beginning almost from the moment he took the throne in 3E 268. Uriel V conquered Roscria in 271, Cathnoque in 276, Yneslia in 279, and Esronit in 284. In 3E 288, he embarked on his most ambitious enterprise, the invasion of the continent kingdom of Akavir. This ultimately proved to be a failure, for 2 years later, Uriel V was killed in Akavir on the battlefield of Ionith. Nevertheless, Uriel V holds a reputation second only to Tiber as one of the two great warrior emperors of Tamriel. The last four emperors, beginning with Uriel V's infinite son, are described in the fourth and final of this series. Awesome. Council is not the best there, is it? The first book of this series described in brief the first 8 emperors of the Septim dynasty, beginning with Tiber I. The second volume described the War of the Red Diamond and the 6 emperors who followed. The third volume described the troubles of the next 3 emperors, the frustrated Uriel IV, the ineffectual Sephirus, and the heroic Uriel V. On Uriel V's death, across the sea in distant hostile Akavir, Uriel VI was but 5 years old. In fact, Uriel VI was born only shortly before his father left for Akavir. Uriel V's only other progeny by morganatic alliance were the twins Morhi Hatha and Eloisa, who had been born a month after Uriel V left. Uriel VI was crowned in the 290th year of the Third Era. Oh, that makes so much sense. That's what the E is standing for. Third Era. The imperial consort Donica, as the boy's mother, was given a restricted regency until Uriel VI reached his majority. The Elder Council retained the real power as they had ever since the days of Kateria I. The council so enjoyed its unlimited and unrestricted freedom to promulgate laws and generate profits that Uriel VI was not given full license to rule until 307, when he was already 22 years old. He'd been slowly assuming positions of responsibility for years, but both the council and his mother, who enjoyed even her limited regency, were loath to hand over the reins. By the time he came to the throne, the mechanisms of government gave him little power, except for that of the imperial veto. This power, however, he regularly and vigorously exercised. By 313, Uriel VI could boast with conviction that he truly did rule Tamriel. He utilized defunct spy networks and guard units to bully and coerce the difficult members of the council. His half-sister, Morhihatha, was, not surprisingly, his staunchest ally, especially after her marriage to Baron Ulf Gerson of Winterhold brought her considerable wealth and influence. As the sage Ugarij said, Uriel V conquered Esranit, but Uriel VI conquered the Elder Council. When Uriel VI fell off a horse and could not be resuscitated by the finest imperial healers, his beloved sister Morhihatha took up the imperial tiara. Okay, so the women get tiaras, that's fun. At 25 years of age, she had been described by admittedly self-serving diplomats as the most beautiful creature in all of Tamriel. She was certainly well-learned, vivacious, athletic, and a well-practiced politician. She brought the Archmagister of Skyrim to the Imperial City and created the second Imperial battle mage since the days of Tiber Septim. Morhihatha finished the job her brother had begun, and made the imperial province a true government under the Empress, and later the Emperor. Outside the imperial province, however, the empire had been slowly disintegrating. Open revolutions and civil wars had raged unchallenged since the days of her grandfather Severus II. Carefully coordinating her counterattacks, Morhihatha slowly claimed back her rebellious vassals, always avoiding overextending herself. Though Morhihatha's military campaigns were remarkably successful, her deliberate pace often frustrated the council. One councilman, an Argonian who took the Colovian name of Thorocles Ramus, furious at her refusal to send troops to his troubled Black Marsh, is commonly believed to have hired the assassins who claimed her life in 339. Ramus was summarily tried and executed, though he protested his innocence to the last. Morhihatha had no surviving children, and Eloisa had died of a fever 4 years before. Eloisa's 25-year-old son, Pelagius, was thus crowned Pelagius IV. Pelagius IV continued his aunt's work and slowly bring back under his wings the radical and refractory kingdoms, duchies, and baronies of the empire. He exercised Morhihatha's poise and circumspect pace in his endeavors, but alas, he did not attain her success. The kingdoms had been free of constraint for so long that even a benign imperial presence was considered odious. Nevertheless, when Pelagius died after an astonishing 49-year reign, Tamriel was closer to unity than it had been since the days of Uriel I. Our current emperor, his awesome and terrible majesty, Uriel VII, son of Pelagius IV, has the diligence of his great aunt Morhihatha, the political skill of his great uncle Uriel VI, and the military prowess of his great granduncle Uriel V. For 21 years he reigned and brought justice and order to Tamriel. In the year 3rd Era 389, however, his imperial battle mage, Yagar Tharn, betrayed him. Uriel VII was imprisoned in a dimension of Tharn's creation, and Tharn used his sorcery of illusion to assume the Emperor's aspect. For the next 10 years, Tharn abused imperial privileges but did not continue Uriel VII's schedule of reconquest. It's not yet entirely known what Tharn's goals and personal accomplishments were during the 10 years he masqueraded as his liege lord. In Third Era 399, an enigmatic champion defeated the battle mage in the dungeons of the Imperial Palace and freed Uriel VII from his other dimensional jail. Since his emancipation, Uriel VII has worked diligently to renew the battles that would reunite Tamriel. Tharn's interference broke the momentum, it's true, but the years since then have proven that there's a hope of the golden age of Tiber Septim's rule, glorifying Tamriel once again. Amped him up, well, yeah, no, I was feeling what the book's putting down. I had to, you know, hell yeah, Euro 7th, great guy. That sounds like, is this the storyline for Arena? I think it might be. Or Daggerfall, not Arena. The previous game, like Elder Scrolls 2. Is it Arena or Daggerfall? I don't remember. But yeah, Daggerfall. Yeah, I think this is Daggerfall, this storyline right here. Maybe. I might be completely off on that. Alright, so we've read the 4 brief histories of the Empire now. So now I need to try to steal I need to steal all of these. Okay.
Take me for a fool.
Okay, then we can put it on the ground. I do kind of take you for a fool, honestly. It's right there.
You've stolen for the last time.
Okay, yeah, we're good. Just 2 books on the ground for totally legitimate reasons. Yeah. Okay, okay, one more book.
You've stolen for the last time.
Yes, we got them all. Goodbye. Alright, I think there's also like a key somewhere, if I remember correctly. Actually, I should put that back on the ground just in case I need to steal something else. I don't think there's anything particularly great that I want to spend my time trying to steal, but yeah, I'm pretty sure there's like a key somewhere. It might be in the next room. Alright, so now we can go ahead and take all of these. So we've got 1, 2, 3, and 4. Cool. And then we can go ahead and take the plate as well. Might as well take this since it is on the ground. And go to the next area. Alright, you should learn how to do combat. Pick up the dagger and activate it by pressing E. Don't think I've forgotten our wager. I want this dagger sharp as a scamp's claw by morning. Gansiel. Maybe I can find Gansiel and give him the dagger. Equip the dagger by dropping in your picture on the inventory menu. Yay, dagger. Ooh, book. The Firmament. Okay. Gotta take a drink first. My throat is parched. Alright, let's write this down. The Firmament. Alright, let's take one more sip. Alright. The Firmament by Efolk. The stars of Tamriel are divided into 13 constellations. 3 of them are major constellations known as the Guardians. These are the Warrior, the Mage, and the Thief. Each of the Guardians protects its 3 charges from the 13th constellation, the Serpent. When the sun rises near one of the constellations, it is that constellation's season. Each constellation has a season of approximately 1 month. The Serpent has no season, for it moves about in the heavens, usually threatening one of the other constellations. There's the Warrior. The Warrior is the first Guardian constellation, and he protects his charges during their season. The Warrior's own season is Last Seed, when his strength is needed for the harvest. His charges are the lady, the steed, and the lord. Those born under the sign of the warrior are skilled with weapons of all kinds, but prone to short tempers. The mage is the guardian constellation whose season is rain's hand. When magicka was first used by men, his charges are the apprentice, the golem, and the ritual. Those born under the mage have more magicka and talent for all kinds of spellcasting, but are often arrogant and absent-minded. The thief is the last guardian, the constellation, her season is the darkest month of the evening star. Her charges are the lover, the shadow, and the tower. Those born under the sign of the thief are not typically thieves, though they take risks more often and only rarely come to harm. They'll run out of luck eventually, however, and rarely live as long as those born under the other signs. The serpent wanders in the sky and has no season. Although its motions are predictable to a degree, no characteristics are common to all who are born under the sign of the serpent. Those born under this sign are the most blessed and the most cursed. The lady. The lady is one of the warrior's charges, and her season is Heartfire. Those born under the sign of the lady are kind and tolerant. The steed is one of the warrior's charges, and her season is Mid-Year. Those born under the sign of the steed are impatient and always hurrying from one place to another. That definitely fits my character. Probably. The Lord. The Lord's season is first seed, and he oversees all of Tamriel during the planting. Those born under the sign of the Lord are stronger and healthier than those born under the other signs. The Apprentice. The Apprentice's season is Sun's Height. Those born under the sign of the Apprentice have a special affinity for magic of all kinds, but are more vulnerable to magic as well. The Atronach, often called the Golem, is one of the mage's charges. Its season is Sun's Dusk. Those born under this sign are natural sorcerers with deep reserves of magicka, but they can't generate magicka of their own. The Ritual. The Ritual is one of the mage's charges, and its season is Morning Star. Those born under this sign have a variety of abilities, depending on the aspects of the moons and the divines. The Lover is one of the thief's charges, and her season is Sun's Dawn. Those born under the sign of the Lover are graceful and passionate. The Shadow. The Shadow season is second seed. The Shadow grants those born under her sign the ability to hide in shadows. The Tower. The Tower is one of the thief's charges, and its season is Frostfall. Those born under the sign of the Tower have a knack for finding gold and can open locks of all kinds. Awesome. Now we know all these signs. We can be an astrology girly. My Morrowind. Oh my god, the greatest channel of all time. Thank you very much. That's very flattering. Bionic Octopus must be a genius. Do I have a list of all the books? Not right now. There is one online. Right now I'm just writing them in my notebook. I decided to do this like 30 minutes before starting the stream, so I didn't prepare at all, but I'm gonna write down all the books in my notebook and then have like a checklist basically. And that way I'll have a better chance of figuring out which books I have and haven't read, and you know, keep a list like that. I once did a non-quest dungeon playthrough for Oblivion. I put together a spreadsheet and everything. Well, yeah. Yeah, that's the kind of thing I would do as well, for sure. You definitely need a list or something like that for this type of stuff. I just didn't want to do a spreadsheet or something on the computer. I wanted to do it in a notebook because I want to just have the game open. I don't want to like click off the game, go to the spreadsheet, and do that over and over again. So I'm probably gonna do it that way with the notebook. I'll just take some of this stuff because I'm gonna need tons of money for my books. Okay, I don't think we can open that. easily the most autistic thing I've ever done. Maybe. Yeah. That might be that's probably it on its own. Just you tell it, you go into the doctor, you're like, I did this, and right away might have autism. Oh man, is this an autistic thing to do? Finding and reading all the books in Morrowind? Okay, maybe I've outed myself.
papers,
Yeah,
please.
pretty autistic. Damn. That's fine. I'm sure it doesn't indicate anything. First, let me take your identification papers. Thank you. Word of your arrival only reached me yesterday. I'm Celis Gravius, but my background's not important. Here to welcome you to Morrowind. Yes, you're in Morrowind. I don't know why you're here or why you're released from prison and shipped here, but your authorization comes directly from Emperor Uriel Septim VII himself, and I don't need to know any more than that. When you leave this office, you're a free man, but before you go, I have instructions on your duties. Instructions from the Emperor, so pay careful attention. Too bad you can only find the censored versions of the real Baron Zaya. I don't know what the real Baron Zaya is, but now I'm excited to try to find it. Is there like an uncensored version that like Michael Kirkbride posted or something? That seems like the type of thing he would do. Yeah, find Kai's, blah blah blah, don't care. Okay, there's the key. So this is the key I need to take. It's a book series. Daggerfall had a much more explicit version. Oh. Maybe I'll have to read both, like, outside of the game. Not Kirkbride, I think. Okay. Yeah, because I know Kirkbride's stuff is, like, super weird, and definitely, like, a lot of that stuff, no shot of that being in a game, because it's, like, it's so explicit sometimes. Alright. Let's see if I can get him to come over here. Yeah, it's out there. Yeah, Kirkbride's stuff is wild. Let's see. I can lure him over this way.
Stolen for the last time.
Right? Oh man, what is... Oh shit. Okay, I'm just gonna drop everything. Because he's gonna see this stuff, isn't he? And think it's stolen. I'm not sure exactly. Yeah, let's just drop everything. I would need to do it anyway, so it's not a big deal. It is a candlestick. Yeah, I have multiple candlesticks though. I don't think he's gonna take the books. I'm not risking it. I'm just gonna drop everything. Okay. Ah, shoot. I need him... Let's see. I would need to race him back over there.
You've stolen for the last time.
Alright, no. Go, 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 go. Ah, dang it. Okay,
Go
no.
ahead,
I don't think
stranger.
that's gonna work. Okay, we need him to... Okay. He can't be looking at us while I'm taking it. Okay, I'm gonna just sneak right behind him, I guess. Okay. And now I'm just gonna have to be really... Ooh, I can't quite reach it. Oh, no, maybe. Okay, I'm just gonna have to be really quick.
You've made your
Damn
last
it.
mistake, thief.
No! Wasn't able to get it. It's too close. It's a very hard one to get. I think there's like some way to like lure him, like what I was trying to do, and lure him over here and then be able to get it. Yeah, I think that one's just a little bit too hard to get. And it doesn't really matter. All it gets you is like some extra armor. So, which I mean you can sell for gold, but you know, it's not super important. Alright. Let's see if we can probably buy some books here. Oh, looks like it. Misk. Here we are. Lives of the Saints. Ooh. Alright, well, let's buy that. I'm gonna need an Apprentice Mortar and Pestle, so I might as well just buy it now. Outside of that, I don't think I really need anything. I'm gonna get a spear, though. I don't need it, but it'd be cool to have a spear. But actually, hold on. Wait. Before... Oh, dang it. Okay. Before I go ahead and buy the spear... I can't afford... Wait, what? Didn't he give me 500 gold? Okay, I guess not. That's fine. We'll sell him that. Okay, that's fine. Okay, so we did get a new book, but I think there's like one of these tree stumps around here. There's a weapon. I don't have any clue which tree stump it is, and I think it might be an axe, so that wouldn't work. Yeah, let's just buy a spear. I know there's like an axe. What was that noise? Okay, I don't know. It's very... There's a bit of a storm going on outside. I think it might be a tree hitting my room or something. Yeah, I know there's like a tree stump somewhere around here, but it has like an enchanted weapon. But yeah, I think it might just be an axe, which I wouldn't care about. All right, let's see. Got iron spears. What's the difference here? This one's just weaker. Okay, we'll buy one of these, I guess. You know, let's go ahead and get rid of this stuff as well. Clear the inventory a little bit. I definitely want to keep all these books. Okay. Now, let's go ahead and go out and read the book at this nice little pier here. Alright, so the Lives of Saints. Lives of the Saints. Let's write that down real quick. Go. Alright. If you would be wise, model your lives on the lives of the saints. If you would learn valor, follow Saint Nerevar, the captain patron of warriors and the statesmen. Lord Nerevar helped unite the barbarian Dunmer tribes into a great nation, culminating in his martyrdom when leading the Dunmer to victory against the evil Dwemer and the traitors House Dagoth in the Battle of Red Mountain. If you would learn daring, follow Saint Veloth of the Pilgrim, patron of outcasts and spiritual seekers. Saint Veloth, prophet and mystic, led the Dunmer out of the decadent home country of the Somerset Isles and into the promised land of Morrowind. Saint Veloth also taught the difference between good and bad Daedra, and won the aid of the good Daedra for his people while teaching how to carefully negotiate with the bad Daedra. If you were to learn generosity, follow Saint Realms the Barefooted, patron of pilgrims and beggars. Saint Realms gave away her shoes, then dressed and appeared as a beggar to better acquaint herself with the poor. If you would learn self-respect and respect for others, follow Saint Aralar the Penitent, patron of tanners and miners. This foul criminal repented his sins and traveled a circuit of the great pilgrimages on his knees. If you would learn mercy and its fruits, follow Saint Seren the Merciful, patron of brewers, bakers, distillers. This pure virgin of modest aspect could heal all diseases at the price of taking the disease upon herself. Tough-minded and fearless, she took on the burden of others, and bore those burdens to an honored old age. If you would learn fierce justice, follow Saint Felms the Bold, patron of butchers and fishmongers. This brave warlord slew the Nord invaders and drove them from our lands. He could neither read nor write, receiving inspiration directly from the lips of the Almsevi. If you would learn pride of a race and tribe, follow Saint Rorus the Martyr, patron of furnishers and caravanners. Captured by Argonians just before the Arnesian War, Rorus proudly refused to renounce the tribunal faith and withstood the cruel tortures of Argonian sorcerers. Vengeance and justice for the martyred Saint Rorus was the rallying cry of the Arnesian War. If you'd learn the rule of law and justice, follow Saint Ohms the Just, patron of chandlers and clerics. Founder of the Ordinators, St. Ohms conceived and articulated the fundamental principles of testing, ordeal, and repentance. If you'd learn benevolence, follow St. Delon the Wise, patron of potters and glassmakers. St. Delon was the head of House Indoril, a skilled lawyer and author of many learned treatises on tribunal law and customs. If you would learn the love of peace, follow St. Maris the Peacemaker, patron of farmers and laborers. As a little girl, St. Maris showed healing gifts and trained as a healer. She ended a long and bloody house war, intervening on the battlefield in her white robe to heal warriors and spellcrafters without regard to a faction. The troops of all houses adopted white robes as her standard and refused to shed the blood of their brethren. If you would learn reverence, follow St. Lothus the Pious, patron of tailors and dyers. Contemporary and companion of the tribunals, the best-loved Almarula of the tribunal temple, he formulated the central rituals and principles of the new temple faith. St. Lothus is a symbolic mortal bridge between the gods and the faithful and the archetypal priest. Okay, got some cool saints here. St. Maris sounds pretty cool. St. Ohms, founder of the Ordinators, that's cool. Yeah. Okay. One more book to the list. Let's see. There might be hiding some books that he's not willing to sell. That we just have to very sneakily steal. Oh, there's more people up here.
Come on then.
Okay.
What's this about?
That's locked. Let's see. Okay, no, she doesn't.
So what do you want?
Doesn't sell anything there. All right. So let's go ahead and equip this instead. Got an iron spear now. Okay. Let's see.
What's this about?
Most of these houses are probably going to be locked, and I definitely don't have the lock picking to get in.
Speak.
Oh, this one. Okay.
Speak quickly, Outlander.
Let's see if
or go
she's a
away.
learned person and has any books. It doesn't look like she does. She's got a nice dagger. You'll probably need to join the Thieves Guild and buy some training. Probably, yeah. Yeah, I think.
Speak, traveler. Watching me.
Yeah, I think I'll definitely need to do some thieving. break into some homes and stuff. I don't know. I think
Go ahead.
people in Sedanine, this is like the back country, they're not really gonna have any books. I don't think Sedanine is a great place to try to find any. I'll probably have way better luck in a city. There's probably also a bookseller. Aw, dude. There's probably like a bookseller, and they'll have a shitload of books. So that's what I need to find, I guess, is just a bookshop. I mean, definitely not the council club. I mean, they might have books there, but let's check Lockup. Right, no, it's a different place than I was thinking of, but that's fine as well. We can snoop around a bit.
Go ahead, stranger.
Okay. Got some. Whoop. Okay, yeah, not the place I was thinking of. There's like a. I don't remember where it was. I feel like there was like a Khajiit cellar, like right around here, but that's all like miscellaneous stuff. That might be wrong. Yeah, here we go. This is the guy. Here we go. Hello, Revere. Alright. Barter. Okay, well, of course he doesn't have any books, but that's fine. He does have some kind of interesting stuff, though. Got a bunch of very, very well enchanted stuff here. Other than that, I don't know, nothing all too useful. The Mages Guild, they probably have tons of books. Ooh, that's a cool helmet. But I don't think I can wear it because I'm a Khajiit, can I? Okay. Let's check these shops out first, and then we'll probably join the Mages Guild. Because they'll have... Ooh, book. The real Baron's Aya. This is the one you mentioned. Ooh, even more books. The biography of Baron Aya. Ooh, okay. How am I gonna do this? Well, I mean, I can read them. I wouldn't be able to take them, though. I'll have to come back and steal them when I have better skill, I guess. Let's see if there's any books that I can... Oh, no, actually, all the books that are here are... Okay, wait. Hold on. If I buy all these books, do they disappear off the shelves as well? Probably not. I wouldn't think so, but let's check it out. So, let's get all the books she's got. It's $195. I've got enough for that. Oh, they do. How did I not know that? How did I not realize that before? That's funny. I can't believe I never realized that. That's more advanced than Skyrim. What the fuck? Morrowind is more advanced than Skyrim with their shops? That's crazy. What is Bethesda doing? Alright, let's go Adra and Daedra next. Alright, here we go. Adra and Daedra. Alright. The designations of gods, demons, Adra, and Daedra are universally confusing to laymen. They are often used interchangeably. Adra and Daedra are not relative terms, they are elvish and exact. Azura is a Daedra both in Skyrim and Morrowind. Aedra is usually translated as ancestor, which is as close as Cyrodiilic can come to this elven concept. Daedra means roughly not our ancestors. This distinction was crucial to the Dunmer, whose fundamental split in ideology is represented in their mythical genealogy. Aedra are associated with stasis. Daedra represent change. Aedra created the mortal world and are bound to the earth bones. Daedra, who cannot create, have the power to change. As part of the divine contract of creation, the Aedra can be killed. Witness Lorcan and the Moons. The protean Daedra, for whom the rules do not apply, can only be banished. Okay. Wait. As a defined contract of creation, Daedra can be killed. Oh, right, because in the process of creating the world. I didn't know about that, actually. In the process of creating the world, they were weakened. I didn't know they could be killed, though. Okay. The true nature of orcs. That's an interesting one. I know a bit about orcs, not a lot. Alright, let's write that down. Okay. The true nature of orcs. Orcs were born during the latter days of the Dawn Era. History has mislabeled them beast folk, related to the goblin races, but the orcs are actually children of Trinimac, strongest of the Altmeri ancestor spirits. When Trinimac was eaten by the Daedroth Prince Boethia and transformed in that foul god's insides, the orcs were transformed as well. The ancient name for orcs is Orosmer, which means the pariah folk. They now follow Malok, the remains of Trinimac. Who is Malok? He's more commonly known as the Daedroth Prince Malakath, whose sphere is the patronage of the spurned and ostracized, the sworn oath, and the bloody curse. He's not technically a Daedra lord, nor do the other Daedra recognize him as such, but this is fitting for a sphere. Of old he was Trinimac, the champion of the High Elven pantheon, in some places more popular than Ariel, who protected them against enemies without and within. When Trinimac and his followers attempted to halt the Velothi dissidents movement, the Boethia ate him. Trinimac's body and spirit were corrupted, and he emerged as Malakath. His followers were likewise changed for the worse, despised by everyone, especially the inviolate Oriel. They quickly fled to the northern wastes near Sarthal. They fought Nords and Chimer for a place in the world, but did not get much. In Skyrim, Malakath was called Orke, or Old Knocker, and his battles with Ysmir are legendary. He was pooped out. Yeah, I was about to say that. They don't really say it here, but yeah, he was pooped out by Boethia. And then the orcs bathed in the poop. And that's how they became so ugly. And, you know, their skin became green because they bathed in Boethia's shit, basically. And, you know, that's why their lifespan is way shorter. You know, they're not mentioning those details, but that's, I mean, yeah. I didn't know about this part here. He's not technically a Daedra lord, nor do the other Daedra recognize him as such. I did not know that. That's interesting. I had no clue about that. Alright. Biography of Baron Zaya. Alright. Zaya. Alright. Biography of Queen Baranzaya by Stern Gamboge, Imperial Scribe. Late in the Second Era, a girl child, Baranzaya was born to the rulers of the kingdom of Mournhold, in what is now the imperial province of Morrowind. She was reared in all the luxury and security befitting a royal dark elven child, until she reached 5 years of age. At that time, His Excellency Tiber Septim I, the first emperor of Tamriel, demanded that the decadent rulers of Morrowind yield to him and institute imperial reforms. Trusting to their vaunted magic, the Dark Elves impudently refused until Tiber Septim's army was on the borders. An armistice was hastily signed by the now eager Dunmer, but not before there were several battles, one of which laid waste to Mournhold, now called Amalexia. Little Princess Berenzia and her nurse were found among the wreckage. The Imperial General, Symmachus, himself a Dark Elf, suggested to Tiber Septim that the child might someday be valuable, and she was therefore placed with a loyal supporter who had recently retired from the Imperial Army. Sven Advinson had been granted the title of Count upon his retirement. His fiefdom, Darkmoor, was a small town in central Skyrim. Count Sven and his wife reared the princess as their own daughter, seeing to it she was educated appropriately, and more importantly, that the imperial virtues of obedience, discretion, loyalty, and piety were instilled in the child. In short, she was made fit to take her place as a member of the new ruling class of Morrowind. The girl Berenzia grew in beauty, grace, intelligence. She was a sweet-tempered, a joy to her adoptive parents and their 5 young sons, who loved her as their eldest sister. Other than her appearance, she differed from young girls of her class only in that she had strong empathy for the woods and fields, and was wont to escape her household duties to wander there at times. Berenzia was happy and content until her 16th year, when a wicked orphan stable boy, whom she had befriended out of pity, told her that he had overheard a conspiracy between her guardian, Count Sven, and a Redguard visitor to sell her as a concubine in Rehad, as no Nord or Breton would marry her on account of her black skin, and no Dark Elf would have her because of her foreign upbringing. "Whatever shall I do?" the poor girl said, weeping and trembling, for she had been brought up in innocence and trust, and it never occurred to her that her friend the stable boy would lie to her. The wicked boy was called Straw, said that she must run away if she valued her virtue, but that he would come with her as her protector. Sorrowfully, Berenzia agreed to this plan, and that very night she disguised herself as a boy, and the pair escaped to the nearby city of Whiterun. After a few days there, they managed to get jobs as guards for a disreputable merchant caravan. The caravan was heading east by side roads in a mendacious attempt to elude the lawful tolls charged on the imperial highways. Thus the pair eluded pursuit until they reached the city of Riften, where they ceased their travels for a time. They felt safe in Riften, close as it was to the Morrowind border, so that the Dark Elves were enough of a common sight. That's the official biography of Berenzia. Very different from real Berenzia. Yeah, I've heard a little bit about that. I know... I feel like I watched the lore video, years and years ago about Berenzia. Because I was wondering why there was, Berenzia's crown in Skyrim. I was like, this whole... That's, probably one of my least favorite quests in Skyrim is the Berenzia quest. It sucks. I hate it. And I will actively avoid picking up any of the Berenzia gems or whatever, because I just don't even like having the quest in the list of quests that are active. I hate it more than Meridia. It's the worst. Meridia is annoying, but you just do it and you're done with it, but Berenzia, you get it and then it just sits in your list of quests forever, and you never do it, because it's so hard to find all the gems. So I watched a lore video about her years and years ago, so I don't remember it at all, but I do remember she was a bit of a baddie. Alright, so we've read that. The Annotated in Annuad. Haven't read that one. put it mildly, yeah. Wait, wasn't there a Real Baron's... One of the books on the shelf was The Real Baron's Aya? I mean, it was like volume 4, but... Yeah, Real Baron's Aya volume 2. Okay. Should I read it out of order, or should I wait until I have the first one? I feel like maybe I should wait until I have and try to read stuff in order. But I'm not sure. I'll just read. You could wait for the experience, yeah. I think I want the experience. I mean, the whole point of this is for the experience. It's not just a cold, just read everything and not care about it at all. So I think I'll wait for the experience of reading it from the beginning. So I'll wait on reading the Real Baron's Aya, but I'm kind of hyped to read it. Annotated and annotated. Ugh. Annual paraphrase. Okay. And there we go. The Annuad paraphrased. The first ones were brothers, Anu and Pad. Oh, dude. Okay, creation story. I always get confused on this. I don't know much about the Annuad stuff. I always forget about it. And I never really watched any lore videos just on this, so it'll be interesting to read the book, I guess. The first ones were brothers, Anu and Padme. They came into the void, and time began. As Anu and Padme wandered the void, the interplay of light and darkness created Nier. Both Anu and Padme were amazed and delighted with her appearance, but she loved Anu, and Padme retreated from them in bitterness. Nier became pregnant, but before she gave birth, Padme returned, professing his love for Nier. She told him that she loved only Anu, and Padme beat her in rage. Anu returned, fought Padme, and cast him outside time. Nier gave birth to creation, but died from her injuries soon after. Anu, grieving, hid himself in the sun and slept. Meanwhile, life sprang up on the 12 worlds of creation and flourished. After many ages, Padme was able to return to time. He saw creation and hated it. He swung his sword, shattering the 12 worlds in their alignment. Anu awoke and fought Padme again. The long and furious battle ended with Anu the victor. He cast aside the body of his brother, who he believed was dead, and attempted to save creation by forming the remnants of the 12 worlds into one, Nirn, the world of Tamriel. As he was doing so, Padme struck him through the chest with one last blow. Anu grappled with his brother and pulled them both outside of time forever. The blood of Padme became the Daedra, the blood of Anu became the stars, the mingled blood of both became the Aedra. Hence their capacity for good and evil, and their greater affinity for earthly affairs than the Daedra, who have no connection to creation. On the world of Nirn, all was chaos. The only survivors of the 12 worlds of creation were the Elnofe and the Hist. The Elnofe are the ancestors of Mur and Men. The Hist are the trees of Argonia. Nirn originally was all land, with interspersed seas, but no oceans. A large fragment of the Elnofe world landed on Nirn relatively intact, and the Elnofe living there were the ancestors of the Mur. Those Elnofe fortified their borders from the chaos outside and hid their pocket of calm, and attempted to live on as before. Other Elnofe arrived on Nirn scattered amid the confused jumble of the shattered worlds, wandering and finding each other over the years. Eventually, the wandering Elnathay found the hidden land of Old Elnathay and were amazed and joyful to find their kin living among the splendor of ages past. The wandering Elnathay expected to be welcomed into the peaceful realm, but the Old Elnathay looked on them as degenerates, fallen from their former glory. For whatever reason, war broke out and raged across the whole of Nord. The Old Elnathay retained their ancient power and knowledge, but the Wanderers were more numerous and toughened by their long struggle to survive on Nirn. This war reshaped the face of Nirn, sinking much of the land beneath new oceans, leaving the lands as we know them, Tamriel, Akavir, Atmora, and Yakuta. The Old Elnathay realm, although ruined, became Tamriel. The remnants of the Wanderers were left divided on the other 3 continents. Over many years, the Elnathay of Tamriel became the Mer, elves, the Dwemer, the Deep Ones, sometimes called dwarves, the Chimer, the Changed Ones, who later became the Dunmer, the Dummer, the Dark or Cursed Ones, the Dark Elves, the Bosmer, the Green or Forest Ones, and the Wood Elves, the Altmer, the Elder or High Ones, and the High Elves. On the other continents, the wandering Elnathay became the Men, the Nords of Atmora, the Redguards of Rikuta, and the Taisi of Akavir. The Hist were bystanders in the Elnathay War, but most of their realm was destroyed as the war passed over it. A small corner of it survived to become Blackmarsh in Tamriel, but most of their realm was sunk beneath the sea. Eventually, men returned to Tamriel. The Nords were the first, colonizing the northern coast of Tamriel before recorded history, led by the legendary Ysgramor. The 13th of his line, King Harold, was the first to appear in written history, and so the mythic era ended. Okay, so that is like super different from my understanding of the creation. Because didn't, like, here, where it says, cast him outside of time. I thought it was, like, Akatosh that created time in the first place. Maybe, I guess I'm pretty wrong on that. Who are the Taisi? So they're not in the games. They're the inhabitants of Akavir. They're like snake people, I guess. But yeah, they're in a different continent. So all the Elder Scrolls games so far have taken place on the continent Tamriel. So Skyrim, Morrowind, and High Rock, and all of those. That's all in Tamriel. And then Akavir, which is like the land of the dragons. Kind of, I guess. And the Taisi live there. And pretty much nothing's known about Akavir. It's like very mysterious. One of the emperors tried to invade and fail. The Blades. I'm sure you know who the Blades are. You're playing Skyrim right now, aren't you? Or like on the Switch, right? I think that was you. So the faction that Delphine is part of. Yeah. So the faction that the Delphine was part of was actually basically founded by Akaviris that followed one of the emperors back home. So they followed him because he was a dragonborn and protected him. So all the Blades architecture and like the blade sword, it's like a katana kind of thing. That's it's like, you know, derived from the Taisi. That's a whole thing. But yeah, they're from Akavir, different continent. You don't really see any of them in the games. Okay, but yeah, so this doesn't mention any of the gods. I rolled with that sword for a long time. Wow. Yeah, that's a Taisi sword, essentially, an Akaviri sword. Because, yeah, the Blades, they were founded by a group of, basically, yeah, people from Akavir that followed the Emperor back home and swore to protect him. Basically because he was Dragonborn. And I guess in Akavir they worship dragons. So a Dragonborn would be, they would worship a Dragonborn, which the Emperors are supposed to be, I guess. But yeah, so this is very different, like, from how I thought of the creation. I mean, there's tons of different creation myths for Skyrim, but I don't know, I didn't know about this one at all somehow. Completely missed on learning this creation myth. I mean, it might not be a myth in this universe, but that kind of thing. Okay, I think those are all the books I have that I can read right now that are not part of a series. Like the Real Baron's Eye. Yep. Read all the stories. Don't see any more books here. So off to the next store. No, that's a book.
Let's hear it.
Book of Dawn and Dusk. Okay. Let's see if I can buy it from him first. Book of Dawn and Dusk. Yes. Better to try to buy first than going ahead and stealing for right away. The Book of Dawn and Dusk is a collection of sayings and aphorisms attributed variously to the tribunals and to their saints and servants. Many of these sayings have become common cliches of everyday life in Morrowind. The following selection of slogans will illustrate many of the simplest notions of the tribunal faith. Okay, I feel like, oh man, I'm probably gonna end up saying some of these things in real life, just because they pop in my head. And oh man, I can already picture myself just randomly saying, oh no. Because I sometimes do that, where I'll just, whatever's on my mind, sometimes I'll just say in regular conversation when it kind of fits. It's fine. We'll just go with it. Toby Conger. Hello, how are you doing? Alright, let's get on with reading this then. Speak none but good of the gods. We can have no opinions about truth. Rumors flow from the house of troubles. Count only the happy hours. No child has a sinner's heart. Let faith be your only law. Fear of the fool is the beginning of wisdom. Almsivi in every hour. Walk always in the presence of your lords. Comfort is given, justice is taken. Learn by serving. From the heart, the light. From the head, the law. Blessed Almsivi, mercy, mastery, mystery. Forge a keen faith in the crucible of suffering. Engrave upon thy eye the image of injustice. Death does not diminish, the ghost gilds with glory. Faith conquers all, let us yield to faith. Better to suffer a wrong than to do one. The heavens in their glory the heavens are in their glory, applaud. Folly secures its power to harm. Though forbidden to some, not to you. Oh, how rarely wisdom rules our hearts. Blessed are we who serve Almsivi. Three mouths sing, mercy, mastery, mystery. Gather no seed in the fields of hell. The thrice sealed house withstands the storm. So many THs. I don't like that. By breath and blood, protect us all. Can ghosts or justice change with time? Consider your end, mortal. Accept grace without limits. Enter the rhapsody of the god poet. Dude, that's a sick line right there. I feel like that's something you'd hear in like a rap song. Enter the rhapsody of the god poet. That's a good one. Kneel before the teacher's chair. 3 hands, 3 hearts, 3 eyes. Keep no secret from your judge's scale. Forge darkness into light. Refuse neither brother nor ghost. Blessed Almsevi, through birth, life, ghost. From glowing ashes, the poet's wrath shall shine. If Vivek is for us, who can stand against us? Fate, monstrous and empty, the whirling wheel of evil. How black my heart, roasting fiercely. Okay. I'm in danger of repeating a couple of these in real life, but I think I can clear it. There's some good ones in here, I think. Some nice sayings. I'll definitely have to come back to this one every once in a while. Maybe steal some of the sayings here. Forgot to write it down in a notebook, though. Okay. Book of Dawn and Dusk. There we go. Alright, let's see if there's any other books that I might need to steal. Hopefully not. My stealth is not good enough to really be stealing at this point. Alright, next shop. Already been there. I honestly don't have much hope for the armor, but we'll give it a... Ooh!
Hurry this up, will you?
Ooh. Got some fun ones there. Let's see if we can bind them first. We can't. Ooh, okay. Now we've got a bit of a challenge on our hands, don't we? There's another book here. Well, I mean, I could just read them first without... Whoa, this one is long.
Outlander. I haven't much time.
Oh, no, there's 2 separate ones. I anticipate. Okay, we got a lot of books here. I might just steal this one, I guess. And then let's see if we can... No, as soon as I'm in viewing... He's looking at the books. No way I'm gonna be able to steal them. Well, actually, maybe. Hold on. It seems his visor is messing with his sight. Alright, let's climb up here. Now he's... Oh! Oh, now this guy can look at us, but... doesn't seem like I'm gonna be able to sneak past these guys. They've got their eye on me.
Where is that slave?
Alright, well, I guess we'll just read these ones. Well, maybe we'll come back and steal them once I have some better stats.
There is someone watching me. I can tell.
Okay, we're gonna start with this one. Okay, so it's the Cantatas of Vivek. Alright. The cantatas of Vivek are gospels written in the form of epic songs. They trace the evolutions of Vivek from a foolish mortal into an enlightened divine. Vivek sought out experiences that tested him in every way possible, particularly in the defense and protection of his Dunmer people. And through his long life, his humility, and his unconquerable spirit, he attained the wisdom of the 7 graces. The cantatas relate many stories of Vivek's experiments with challenges and risk, his failures and triumphs, his blessings of insights, good fortune, and his debt to his partners, Almalexia the lover and Sothasil the teacher. The poetry is simple and dramatic, lyric and personal, composed to be sung or recited. The following is an excerpt from Lord Vivek's Brooding Beneath Red Mountain. The gaunt ghost fires loom as subtle shrouds, smokes and shades on the biers of Red Mountain. Arches and spires line the rock halls, dimly lit by the spirits of the dead. The blood of broken hearths and houses runs in the red rivers, blossoms in fountains. Girdled round within the walls of wit's glass, the shattered hosts slumbers in cradles of ash. But when shall they wake? What dark crucible may kindle their souls to light? How long beneath red reeking clouds must flickering watchfires burn? How many different lifetimes of labor and lament will it take to seal this restless tomb? Man, I messed up so many times reading that one. I don't know why that felt so tough to read. Alright. The Anticipations. Anticipations. There we go. The Daedra are powerful ancestor spirits, similar in form and substance to the Tribunal, blessed be their holy names, but weaker in power and more arbitrary and removed from the affairs of mortals. In old times, the Chimer worshipped the Daedra as gods, but they did not deserve this veneration, for the Daedra harmed their worshippers as often as helped them. The advent of the Tribunal, blessed be their holy names, changed this unhappy state. By apotheosis, the Tribunal, blessed be their holy names, became the protectors and high ancestor spirits of the Dunmer, and bade the Daedra to give proper veneration and obedience. The three good Daedra, Boethia, Azura, and Mephala, recognized the divinity of the triune ancestors, blessed be their holy names. The rebel, Daedra, Molech Baal, Malakath, Sheogorath, and Mehrunes Dagon refused to swear fealty to the Tribunal, blessed be their holy names, and their worshippers were cast out. These rebel Daedra thus became the four corners of the House of Troubles, and they continue to plague our tranquility and tempt the unwary into heresy and dark worship. The priests of the temple remain ever vigilant for signs of the adversary's return, sometimes aided by the loyal three good Daedra who are familiar with the wiles of their rebellious kin. The good Daedra are known to the temple as the Anticipations, since they are the early ancestral anticipations of the loving patronage of the Tribunal. The Anticipations are the Daedra lords Boethia, Mephala, and Azura. Boethia is the anticipation of Almalexia, but male to her female. Boethia was the ancestor who illuminated the elves ages ago, before the Mythic Era. He told them the truth of Lorkhan's test and defeated Oriel's champion Trinimac. Boethia ate Trinimac and voided him. The followers of Boethia and Trinimac rubbed the soil of Trinimac upon themselves and changed their skins. There we go. There's that fun tidbit about the orcs. Mephala is the anticipation of Vivek, but manifold and androgynous. Mephala taught the Chimer to evade their enemies or kill them with secret murder. The Chimer were few in those days, and threatened on all sides. Mephala taught the Chimer to build houses. Later, Mephala created the Morag Tong. Azura is the anticipation of Sothasil, but female to his male. Azura was the ancestor who taught the Chimer how to be different from the Altmer. Her teachings are sometimes attributed to Boethia. In the stories, Azura is often encountered more as a communal progenitor of the race as a whole rather than as an individual ancestor. She's associated with dusk and dawn and is sometimes called the Mother Soul. Azura's star, also called the Twilight Star, appears briefly at dawn and dusk on the horizon below the constellations of the Steed. Azura is associated with mystery, magic, and fate and prophecy. I actually kind of wonder, can you see Azura's star in-game? Like, on the, at dawn and dusk? I mean, you gotta, right? She's such a big character in this. She's like pretty much a main character here. That would definitely be cool. I definitely want to see that. I want to see if I can... Definitely want to see if I can see Azura's star. The Twilight Star. Okay. Next. Saryani's Sermons. Whoa. Alright, let's write that down. Saryani's Sermons. There we go. This volume of the Hieroglypha, i.e. priestly writings, was written and collected with commentary by Archcanon Tholer Saryani. It is the best-selling of the temple annotated texts, and therefore inexpensive and commonly found in most Dunmar households. Saryani collects Vivek's most famous sermons and the popular explanations of his Gospels. This text exists in many editions. More elaborate editions are handsomely illuminated, with Vivek's quotations from the Gospels for days, seasons, and festivals. Listen, faithful, to Vivek's words, for he says 5 times and 5 ways. Forge a keen faith in the crucible of suffering. Engrave upon thy eye the image of injustice. Death does not diminish, the ghost gilds with glory. Faith conquers all. Let us yield to faith. Better to suffer a wrong than to do one. Hear the words of Lord Vivek and heed his sermons on the 7 graces, for he names them 7 times and 7 ways: valor, daring, justice, courtesy, pride, generosity, humility. The grace of valor. Thank you for your valor, Lord Vivek. I shall not quail nor turn away, but face my enemies and my fear. The grace of daring. Thank you for your daring, Lord Vivek. I shall not shun risk nor hide behind the mask of cautious counsel, for fortune favors the bold. The grace of justice. Thank you for your justice, Lord Vivek. I shall be neither cruel nor arbitrary, for fair dealing earns the love, trust, and respect of our people. The grace of courtesy. Thank you for your courtesy, Lord Vivek. I shall speak neither hurtful nor harsh word, but shall speak respectfully even of my enemies, for temperate words may turn aside anger. The grace of pride. Thank you for your pride, Lord Vivek. I shall not doubt myself or my people or my gods, and shall insist upon them and my ancient rights. The grace of generosity. Thank you for your generosity, Lord Vivek. I shall neither hoard nor steal, nor encumber myself with profitless treasures, but shall share freely among the house and hearth. The grace of humility. Thank you for your humility, Lord Vivek. I shall neither strut nor preen in vanity, but shall know and give thanks for my place in the greater world. What nice lessons. These are great, actually. This is a good religious text right here. I like it. Yeah, this is a good one. This is the best, like, religious text I've ever read. And I went to Catholic school. Man. This is some good shit right here. Also, a lot of these are repeated in the Common Sayings book. Like, what is here? Death does not diminish, the ghost guilds, faith conquers all, better to suffer wrong than to do one. Those are all in, where is it? In Dusk and Dawn. Yeah, the Book of Dusk and Dawn, I think. Yeah, here we go. Wait, somewhere in here. Forge a keen faith in the crucible of suffering. That was in there in the sermons. Oh yeah, all of them are here. Engrave upon the eye the image of injustice. Death does not diminish. Faith conquers all. Yeah, all of the. Yeah, these ones were all in that book. Alright, the Pilgrim's Path. Some nice whistling there, my man. The pilgrim must visit each of the shrines of the 7 graces. At each site, the pilgrim must stand before the 3-sided stone trilith and read the inscription to ease the pilgrim's task. The temple has made this list of shrines along with directions and advice to pilgrims. The blessings of each shrine last at least half a day. Ooh. The Fields of Kumu, Shrine of Humility. Here Lord Vivek met a poor farmer whose guar had died. The farmer could not harvest his muck without his guar, and he could not provide for his family or his village. So the Lord Vivek removed his fine clothes and toiled in the fields like a beast of burden, until the crop was harvested. It is at the Fields of Kumu we go to pray for the same humility Lord Vivek showed on that day. The Fields of Kumu are west of Suran, on the north shore of Lake Amaya. As you head towards Pelagiad, the shrine is between 2 rocks, and most easily noticed while traveling east along the road. Alof's farm, nearby, has a small dock on the north bank of Lake Amaya. This is the only dock nearby, which Alof kindly allows servants of the temple to use. It's customary to leave a portion of muck at the shrine to represent Vivek's humility. To stop the moon, the Shrine of Daring. When Sheogorath rebelled against the tribunal, he tricked the moon, Bardao, into forsaking its appointed path through oblivion. The mad star inspired the moon to hurl itself upon Vivek's new city, which Sheogorath claimed was built in mockery of the heavens. When Vivek learned of Sheogorath's scheme, he froze the rogue moon in the sky with a single gesture and the grace of his countenance. Overwhelmed by the courage and daring of Vivek, the moon Bardao swore itself to eternal service of the tribunal and all its workings. Thus the moon now stands guard over the palace and serves as a citadel for the temple's ordinators. The Shrine of Daring is found in the city of Vivek, in the temple district along the western wall of the High Fane. The great temple of Vardenfell, when you address the shrine, it is customary to leave behind a potion of rising force. Suitable potions may be purchased from the temple. Homemade potions are not acceptable. The Palace. Shrine of Generosity. Long after Lord Nerevar and the tribunal triumphed over Dagoth-Ur, the people wished to build a monument to the heroes of that war. Vivek thanked them, but said that it would be better to dedicate a monument not only to the glorious heroes, but to all people, great and small, who suffered and died in the war. It became custom to make offerings here, either in thanks of our good fortune, or for those less fortunate. The Shrine of Generosity is on top of the steps of Vivek's Palace, the southernmost canton of Vivek City. The customary donation for those in good fortune is 100 gold. The Puzzle Canal. The Shrine of Courtesy. In a battle with Mehrunes Dagon, Vivek gave his own silver longsword to the Daedra Lord rather than dishonor himself by fighting an unarmed foe. This so impressed the Dremora, the most honorable and chivalrous of Mehrunes Dagon's Daedra servants, that they now share a bond of respect and courtesy with the followers of the tribunal, though we must never forget that they are our enemies. The Shrine of Courtesy is found in the heart of the Puzzle Canal, a labyrinth beneath Lord Vivek's palace in the city of Vivek. The journey through the Puzzle Canal can be confusing, and it is suggested that common pilgrims carry a scroll of Almsevi intervention in case they get lost. The Dremora Crast is found in the center of the Puzzle Canal, and will accept a plain longsword if spoken to with courtesy. After Crast accepts the sword, pilgrims must read the inscription on the trilith, on the trilith. The Mask of Vivek, Shrine of Justice. Near the altar is Vivek's ash mask. In the days of fire, when Dagoth first crept back into Red Mountain and awakened it, Vivek led refugees here as they fled the Ashen Blight. Weary, they rested here for a while. When Vivek awoke, he found himself and all his followers encased in casts of grey ash, frozen like a sleeping statue and unable to free himself or help his people. Vivek was filled with despair. Vivek's tears weakened his ash cast, and he tore the ash away from his perished followers and breathed life into their lungs and cured them of the blight. This is Vivek's heroism. His tender heart provides strength when his might fails. The Shrine of Justice is guarded within the Gnissis Temple in the village of Nissus, northwest by road from the town of Alderun. When you address the shrine, it is customary to leave a portion of cure common disease as a token of your respect for justice. Suitable potions may be purchased from the temple. Homemade potions are not acceptable. Coal Cave, the Shrine of Valor. Within the Coal Cave, Vivek fought a battle with the Ruddy Man, the father of the Drow. When he defeated the Ruddy Man, Vivek spared his life on the condition that the Ruddy Man and his children would give up their tough hides to serve as armor for the Dunmer. The Shrine of Valor is inside the Coal Cave, a cavern on the sea coast west of the ancient stronghold. Man, my throat is very dry. There's more talking than I'm used to, I guess. Cavern on the seacoast west of the ancient stronghold Barandas and south of Nissus. The cave mouth faces south, towards the sea, and is marked by a large natural arch of stone. The region is wilderness, and finding the cave mouth can be difficult. Drow within the cave itself are fearsome enemies. Only experienced and capable adventurers should attempt to reenact the epic battle with the Drow in the cave. Drow wax may be bought at the temple in Nissus. When you address the shrine, it is customary to leave a portion of Drow wax as a token of Vivek's victorious struggle with the Ruddy Man. The Ghost Fence, Shrine of Pride. The Ghost Fence is a lasting symbol of indomitable will and power of the Elmsea and a monument to the Dunmer pride in overcoming its enemies. The Shrine of Pride is found within the Ghost Fence, just northeast of the Ghost Gate itself. The safest route to Ghost Gate is along the Foyeda Maya volcanic ravine running from the top of Red Mountain southwest to its end just below Balmora. An old Dwemer bridge crosses the Foyeda near Moonmouth. A pilgrim may follow the Foyeda Maya all the way to Ghost Gate. Any journey inside the Ghost Fence is dangerous, but even the most timid pilgrim should be safe, so long as he does not stray too far from the Ghost Gate and flees from any minions of Dagoth. When you address the shrine, it is customary to leave a soul gem in remembrance of our ancestors who were bound to tribunal service. Whew, that was a long one. And my goodness. My face muscles are sore. Yeah. It's a weird feeling. Dude, this is a lot more fun than honestly, I was expecting this to be maybe even slightly boring.
Go ahead.
But I'm having way more fun than I thought I would. I'm having a great time. This is awesome. Okay. This is the last book for tonight. The Affairs of Wizards. We'll read this one, and then we'll call it a night. Oh, right. I need to write down. I need to write this one down as well. Okay, so the Pilgrim's Path. There we go. Now, the affairs of wizards. Alright. The Affairs of Wizards by Turidus Talanian in the service of Master Arian. Want to become part of the House Talvani? Outsiders learning of the rabid isolationist and outlander-hating temperament of the House Talvani wizards often assume it would be impossible to obtain positions in service to House Talvani. Nothing could be further from the truth. For example, since the Talvani vigorously defend the right to own slaves, and since they keep many Argonian and Khajiit as slaves, many Argonians and Khajiit would assume they'd not be accepted for service with House Talvani. Not true. Talvani accept all races as candidates for membership, and since the Talvani are ruled by wizard lord nobles, many assume they accept only candidates of highest intelligence and willpower. Not true. Talvani accept candidates of modest intelligence and willpower. It is true that advancement in Talvani ranks depends on high intelligence and willpower, and that candidates proficient in the arts of magic, especially mysticism, conjuration, illusion, alteration, destruction, and enchanting, can expect to advance faster and higher in the ranks. But adventurers of all races and abilities who apply to Talvani mouths at the Talvani Council Hall in Cedric Mora for acceptance in House Talvani can expect a cordial welcome. Talvani counselors do not serve on their house councils in person. Instead, they are represented by a mouth, a trusted subordinate in residence at the council hall, acting on his patron's behalf, receiving messengers from their patrons and casting their patrons' votes in council affairs. The truth is that House Talvani wizard lords depend on loyal, well-paid, skilled retainers for most services. Though House Talvani does recruit from their own lower classes, they must go outside their house to hire the craftsmen and specialists they need. And since for political reasons, House Talvani has chosen to reduce its reliance on Redoran mercenaries for protection and security, it has been forced to turn to Western mercenaries for guards and agents. Promotion in the House of Talvani, however, is very difficult for outsiders. Most disconcerting for some potential candidates is House Talvani's casual acceptance of murder and assassination of rivals as a means to advancement. Those reluctant to prove their worthiness by killing off the competition, and those uncomfortable about competing in such ruthless atmosphere might better employ their time and efforts in the Mages Guild. Yeah. That's House Talvani there. They're quite the people. Very ruthless. Alright. Man. I never joined, you never joined the Talvani? Maybe I should start a new file? Dude, Talvani are cool. You gotta like fly up into all their houses and like through all their huge mushrooms. Yeah, Talvani are sick. I mean, you know, they're pretty cool. They are also sick in the head, but let's see. Book order. But yeah, I mean, Talvani are really nice. I never really did a lot of the I never did like a lot of the quest lines for the Talvani, but I don't remember how much I did actually, but I did a little bit, and it was pretty nice. Man, okay. So I read 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 books. That's a lot. Yeah, so I read Brief History of the Empire, 1, 2, 3, 4, The Firmament, Lives of the Saints, Aedra and Daedra, The True Nature of Orcs, Biography of Queen Berenziah, The Annotated Annuad, The Book of Dawn and Dusk, the Cantatas of Vivek, The Anticipations, Saryani's Sermons, The Pilgrim's Path, and The Affairs of Wizards. Damn, that's a lot. Alright, I think that's gonna be it for tonight. Hopefully you can read the Real Baron's Eye soon. Yeah, I hope so too. I feel like Real Baron's Eye is gonna be fun. I might even like just go ahead and look up where you can find the first one so I can start with it at least. Alright. I hope you guys had a good time. I kind of had a great time. I love this. And yeah, have a nice night, nice day, whatever time zone you're in. And oh yeah, I should mention, I'm probably gonna do this every Friday. Like finding and reading all the books. That's gonna be like probably gonna be my Friday stream. Because I've always kind of, yeah, I never really knew what to do on the Fridays because I wanted to keep the, do mind tests and the other 2 games I'm doing. I play 3 games at a time usually, and then I do 2 streams a week for each game. And then Friday was like, what am I supposed to do here? So I think I'll just do this on Fridays now. And that'll complete the schedule. Should be good. Alright. But yeah, that's all. And yeah, peace.